So now, if we move on to a bit of crime now, I believe your earliest sort of enterprise was a car theft ring. Now, this started from you sort of breaking into cars and stealing a stereo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then that sort of progressed into parts and then the entire car.
Do you know what? It's just, again, what I like to establish is this, yeah. Everything I've done has just been a criminal progression.
Sure.
From nicking sweets from your pick and mix, yeah, to murder. And there isn't anything that I haven't been under investigation for or been alleged to have been involved in. Do you understand? So it started with the sweets, and then a couple of bits and pieces, and then the car stereos. And then the car stereos went into the car parts, and then the cars. Do you know what I mean? And then it was just, and then it's just a progression. So we started off nicking car stereos and hubcaps, right? So we're nicking hubcaps, and you'd get £25 for the MG Metro hubcaps, and you get £100 for Mercedes, the metal Mercedes hubcaps, or Rolls Royce Mercedes hubcaps. And you get £100 for the stereo.
Right.
You get £1,800 for the bumper set. You get £800 for the interior. Do you know what I mean? So these little things, they fucking add up. And if you're getting 10, 12 cars a day, between 5 or 6 of you, it's a lot of money.
And how old were you?
13, 14. Do you know what I mean? I learned to drive in a fucking Mini, like at 12 years of age. Like we was driving, my first car was a 318, no, it wasn't. My first car was a 205 16 valve Peugeot. And then after that, I went into the ringers. Right. Like the ringers. So then it was all the BMs, 535, Mercs, all that. Madness. We learned to drive in Minis.
Crazy. So I guess when you're doing this, the car theft stuff, I mean, people are coming to you and saying, listen, can you get me this? Can you get me that sort of thing? And, no?
No, it was all to order. So
right.
Basically, you had top stereos, right? So you had the Becca Mexico, the Blair Punt Toronto, Blair Punt New York, Blair Punt Toronto, Blair Punt New York, Blair Punt Montreal. They're the top three ones, right? And then you had the Pioneer 6980, 8940 or something like that. The more buttons on it, the more money. So you get £140 to £200 per stereo back then. Crazy. So it was different to what they are now, right? But the alarms weren't the same. So we used to go out and we used to nick all the stereos, the cars, and then the car parts, and it was just everything. And then it got to the stage where we'd get 5, 10 cars a day, and the people with the cars couldn't pay us in cash because they never had it.
No way.
That's when it excelled into drugs.
Right. I was going to touch on that as well.
Yeah, no, it's all a slow progression. Everything I've done has just been a slow progression through the criminal fraternity.
Sure.
So after the car stereos, we got into the cars. After the cars, we was ringers. My friends got sentenced for the biggest car ringing coup that England saw. It's something like £8 million worth of cars.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? And basically they all got 7s and 9s for it. But we were the people that provided all them cars for them. I TIC'd all my offences, which is taken into consideration. So I've actually admitted most of these offences anyway. So it happened. And basically we nicked so many cars and car stereos that we got into the drug game. And when we got into the drug game,
yeah, can I ask, basically, so obviously you're doing a car thing now, and the car thing is one thing, but now we're talking about drugs, and that's a completely different ball game.
It was just a different, what it was, right? Yeah. So in life, right, prior to the 21st century, you had pickpockets, you had burglars, robbers, you had like different kinds of criminals. You had different kinds, everyone had different skills, different trades.
Definitely, yeah.
That's how it was growing up. So you could do loads of different things to make money, right? So you got your car stereo to make money, you're robbing security vans, and then you got your money. So what are you going to do with your money? You need to bank it. You can't put your money in the bank, so you buy drugs to lay it on people to get your money back slowly. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just all a slow progression to nothing. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
That's all it is, and that's what I've realised. And I've handled hundreds of millions of pounds throughout the course of my life.
Sure.
For what?
For what? Yeah.
For what? Do you know what I'm saying, Chuck?
You know what I mean?
And this is the thing I keep telling people. You risk your life. Every single day of your life, you risk your liberty for a price you cannot put your finger on, because there ain't a fucking criminal out there who can tell me how much money they're going to earn every year. It's impossible.
For sure.
And they can't even tell me how much they profited last year, let alone how much money they fucking earn. Do you know what I mean? Because no criminal I know has got an expense account.
Makes sense.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So where's your profit, bruv? What is your profit? What's your living expense? What are you doing? No one knows shit, bruv. So you're prepared to risk your living every single day of your life for a price you can't put your finger on. You're prepared to stab, shoot and kill and go to prison forever. For what?
For what? Absolutely.
Do you get it?
Sure.
So that's why I'm on my journey now, because I got to the top of the tree. And what I realised when I got to the top of the tree was that you'll never, ever be able to give up, because you always have to chase dough and you always have to chase problems, because everybody's in it to create problems, because everybody's mythologically living a lie. Do you know what I mean? It's all a lie. It's all a myth, mate. It's all a load of bollocks.
Great assessment. Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much that. I mean, like I said, I mean, the drugs thing being sort of different, but obviously you progressing through that alone, I guess it just opened your eyes to all types of, do you know what I mean?
I got into drugs because I thought it was the hardest thing to do. I wanted to be the hardest thing on the planet. I wanted to be the biggest thing on the planet. So I went out of my house every fucking day and I tried to become that. Why? Because I thought they was all mugs. Yeah, they're all mugs. You're weak. What are you asking me to do shit for, you mug? What? You little cunt. What? What? What are you asking me for? You're a big man. You're asking me to do what, bruv? Fuck off, you mug. What? So that's how I spoke to big gangsters. Do you understand? So I spoke to people because I knew they never had no arsehole. And because I went to prison and I see big people and I put it on big gangsters in prison, like proper name gangsters. I'm not going to mention people's names because I'm not here to get clout, yeah, but what I'm telling you, there's some big gangsters in England, mate, that I've put it on and they've shit their pants because they're weak, yeah, because 98% of them bad men are fucking bully, weak narcissists.
Sure.
And that's a fact that they just groom their youngsters to commit crime so they don't go to prison because they haven't got the arsehole like I had. Do you know what I mean? And I had arsehole to do anything up against anybody for any fucking thing. And I stood by my word. And that was the difference between Marvin Herbert and 98% of the villains. And that's why I got to the top of the ladder on my own without a fucking firm. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I respect it.
And people say that you can't respect that, yeah? You can't respect that journey, yeah? You can't respect that journey because I had a better fucking option. And I chose to make that stupid choice, right? Now, at the end of the day, yeah, I don't like all that, you fucking, it ain't done well. I done fucking shit, mate.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I done shit.
Sure.
I done shit. See how she speaks? Like, that's next level, bruv.
Next level.
Yeah, next level. My daughter's all, hello, daddy. How you doing, daddy? Like, do you understand that?
For sure.
Come on, you'd never expect my daughter to be speaking like that. The amount of little girls I know on the road now that are following in their father's footsteps and they're sniffing coke, doing all sorts of badness. Some girls just behave like men, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Because their dads are bringing them up with a certain mindset. Like, this is shit I've never had in my life. Like, none of my kids are criminals. None of my kids are junkies. Like,
I can definitely respect that.
no,
Yeah.
they've experimented, but they're not
As
into
you do.
They're not into it. They're not into it. They're not into it. They're not into it. One of my boys has a drink. One of my daughters has a drink. The others don't bother doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? They don't do nothing. My boy tried puffing. Yeah, he tried puffing. So he said, I said, you know what, son? I'll let you puff.
Right.
I'll let you puff.
Oh, what, you build it for him, basically.
So
and
there you
scale
go.
it, yeah.
Smoke that. If you can smoke that without falling over or puking up, what have I got to say? Right? He smoked it. He smoked it. Crashed out, yeah? So I just white flashed him. A white flash. And what I've done, I've just got a pillar. And this is fun. I do all the time, yeah? A pillow, right? A fluffy pillow. If you hit someone square in the face as hard as you can when they're asleep, yeah? They get a white flash.
Right.
It doesn't hurt, but it wakes them up instantly. And they don't know what's happened. Yeah, so I white flashed him on my balcony in Spain, yeah? And he's woke up like, I was like, why don't you think you can smoke weed, son? And he's like, what happened? What happened? I was like, yeah, you can't. So he fell in a kick, bruv. You burnt my tracksuit bottoms, mate.
Wow.
You can't smoke in front of me. And then basically, he come back to England and he don't smoke weed. He don't smoke weed. He has a little drink now and then. He's a good working boy. Do you know what I mean? He does well, gets in the gym.
Nice.
My other boys the same. Well, look, how could you not experiment with a dad like me? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I respect the sort of techniques you're using in order to get them to understand. That's pretty commendable. I'd say.
I'm just honest with them, man. And you
Yeah,
know what it is?
beautiful.
I want them to be a better version of me. Like, don't end up worse than me.
That's it.
And if you become a criminal, you're going to be worse than me. Why? Because you're not going to be able to do what I've done. You're not going to do that. So what's going to happen is you're going to fall over a lot sooner than I did People will take liberties with you. I don't know whether you'll be able to handle getting stabbed and shot. I don't know.
Right.
I love that shit. That shit give me a buzz. Like, I'm not even fucking joking.
It
Like,
makes sense.
that shit buzzes me.
I hear you.
Like, pain and violence used to like excites me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it still excites me now, but I focus it with a different energy, with a different platform. Do you know what I mean? So
Different directions.
different. Like, I'm passionate. So you see, when I get passionate, I start sweating. Like, usually that was like, you can't come here. Because to me, it was either happiness or death. Because when you get to a certain level, you can't just give someone a slap. You can't just give someone a punch because they're coming back. They're coming back.
For sure.
So rather than have long-winded bollocks, when someone presses and presses and presses and presses, they got kicked. And that was how it was in our world. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not proud of the world we lived in. I'm not proud of the life we had. I'm not proud that I was involved in lots of things where people have lost their lives and people have gone to prison and everyone's fucked. I can't apologise enough for being a part of all that.
Sure.
But am I proud of it? Am I glad for it? No. Did I want it? No. I was just trying my best to get through what I was born into and trying to get out of. Do you understand?
Sure.
And I'm living proof that you can do it.
100%.
Yeah, you can do it.
100%.
Because I got to Downing Street, bruv. Yeah.
Talk your
Downing
shit, bro.
Street, yeah. Personally invited to Downing Street. But I went to the major that got me down there. I went down there I'll tell you the story.
Sure.
So Dr. Mark Prince, big up Dr. Mark Prince every time.
Big him up,
yeah?
big him up.
So Mark Prince's son, Kyan,
Rest in peace.
yeah, got stabbed tragically.
Sure.
Promising football. They've just done the Kyan Prince football game on him now, innit?
Oh,
so
yeah,
they've immortalised Kyan.
Sure. They named the stadium. There's
I was there when I unfolded it and cut the ribbon, I was there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so basically, Mark was doing this workshop in Tottenham, right? So he said, Marv, a couple of these kids, man, like, they're wild. Like, would you mind coming down and having a word? I said, no, what, are you mad? Because I met Mark at the Old Bailey with Judge Nick, Nick Hayward or something like that. Anyway, it'll come back to me. I'll get his Nick. Shit. Anyway, so Nick.
So just to clarify for our overseas viewers, the Old Bailey is basically the biggest courtroom in the country, I believe.
Yeah, the
biggest
Old Bailey,
court, basically. Yeah,
the Old Bailey is the biggest court in in the UK.
So was you going there because of obviously Mark's son's, I guess, the person who was it that case or was it something different?
No, I've been in the Old Bailey for lots of things.
No, I'm saying that instance that you're talking with Mark. So what was that for exactly?
You know where you just cut into the thing.
Oh, no, I apologise. Yeah.
Right, so remember this as well.
Yeah.
My brain works on a different frequency.
Okay,
my short-term memory. So what was I talking about?
So basically, we was talking about the whole thing you were doing with Mark. Mark told you to come over and speak to the kids.
Mark Prince, right?
Yeah.
So
big up Mark Prince, by the way.
Big up Mark Prince. So Mark has asked me to come and speak to these kids in Tottenham.
Right.
So I said, yeah, that's not a problem. I'll come and speak to them. I've gone and delivered a workshop with Mark, right? Because I was doing all the intervention work. So I've turned up, and there's, I don't know, 16 or 18 kids. So now they're all gassing. So then I've got up, I've done my bit, right? So I've got the kids, I'm chatting to the kids. I'm there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, I'm getting ready to leave now. All the kids have gone. The geezer comes up to me, black chap, come up to me and said, do you know what you've done today was absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I was like, wow, yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Never thought nothing of it.
Sure.
Anyway, the next day or the day after, I got a phone call from Mark. He said, where's your glad rags? I said, what are you on about? Your glad rags. Where's your clobber? I said, what do you mean? He said, get your clobber on. Get suited and booted. I said, for what? He said, you're coming to Downing Street with me.
Crazy.
I was like, oh, shut up. I ain't going fucking Downing Street. Not going to have me in Downing Street. You know, I've just finished 4 murders. Because in the June, I was arrested for, what do you call it? The Dale Cregan, who killed the 2 police officers, the father and son. And I'm on trial for that. Yeah, I got acquitted of the trial for the murders. And then I got out.
So you was implicated in that whole thing as well?
Yeah. They put me in that Dale Cregan thing as the man that was supposed to have got him away, provided him with hand grenades, and helped him get out of the country and back into the country. That's what they said I was. It was all bullshit, and we proved that in the case.
Right.
So when I've gone on.
So Mark Prince saying, get your clobber on.
Right.
Yeah.
So because of that case, I didn't think that I'm going to get Downing Street. So then he went to me, no, you're coming. I said, no, do me a favour, Mark. Get the cheque first and then get back on me.
Sure.
Yeah? 2 minutes later, he's rolling back. He said, Marv, you're coming. I've just checked. You've been cleared. I said, are you joking? He went, no. Meet me 3 o'clock. So I've gone down there, met him and the major. I said, oh, thank you very much, major. He was like, yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. So when we've gone through the security, basically, they've gone, we're going to go down. So they've walked down in front of me and gone in. So I'm standing there talking to a couple of celebrities. I was talking to Big Nasty. So I'm standing talking to Big Nasty, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm at the back of the queue, right? So obviously they've all walked in. And I just thought I'm going to the back of the queue, right? So I've just stood at the back of the queue talking to them. And they think the major's come back out. He's gone, Mr. Herbert, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just at the back of the queue. He said, no, you don't queue up. You come straight through to the front. So I got fast tracked straight through to the front. And then as I've gone through the security, I've come out the other side. Thank you very much, Major, man. I really appreciate it for that. And he said to me, I never invited you. Number 10 invited you. I was like, rah, sick. You know what I mean? So going from what I was to what I've become, and the journey just begun from there. Do you know what I mean? So that really did blow me away. That blew me away. That
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, amazing. So if we were sort of to touch on prison a little bit, now there was an occasion where you were really young, I believe 15, and something involving a ring where you actually did time for because they accused you of robbery, sort of thing. If you could talk to us about that a little bit.
Okay. Frognall. I'm living in Frognall. It must have been 1986, 1987. I was seeing a young mixed race girl. I can't even remember her name, to be fair. I remember her face. She had like one of them moon faces. And she gave me a little peso ring, like a small little peso ring. I don't know how much it was, a couple of quid. And she was going on holiday. So she said to me, you're going to be my girlfriend when I come back. I was like, yeah, of course I will, of course I will. She's like, will you take my ring and make something? I was like, all right, love, yeah, whatever. Anyway, never thought nothing of it. She went away. I was expecting to see her when she come back. She never come to see her when she come back. Her ring was in my wardrobe, right? So I took it off and threw it in my wardrobe. So when the police raided my house, they actually found the fucking ring. It weren't like I've took it to sell it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so basically, for some reason, she never come back to my house or come back for it. And her mum and dad must have said, where's your rings? I robbed it. What?
Crazy.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? So I'm lying in bed one day and the door's gone. The old building never come in, like firm-handed. I don't remember seeing guns. My mum said it was armed police, but maybe I was so angry I never see it. But
Right.
I remember them all bursting in the room and I was at the bottom, because we was in a battered wives refuge, right? So my mum had 4 kids, so we had 2 rooms in the hotel. So I had to stay in my mum's room. So I was at the bottom of my mum's bed, you know what I mean, on the floor, and my mum was in bed with my sister or my brother or one of the other kids.
Right.
So when the police have come in the room, I've jumped up and I've started fighting with the police. They've bent me up a little bit. And then my mum's got up like, what the fuck? And then the policeman, has slapped my mum.
No way.
And as he slapped my mum, I can't remember what happened, but I know I bit chunks out of people because I was one of them naughty kids that I just bite you.
Sure.
So I mean, so I didn't care. I used to bite chunks out of anything and claw anything, break anything. So where the police are smart, I'm just biting and kicking and scratching and pulling. That's it. So I got done for a robbery and loads of assaults, and I ended up going away for the first time.
Right, and I'm trying to just like imagine as far as, you know, the accusation that they would have done, because I mean, the reference that you gave, she must have told her parents that, you know, that you basically robbed her. So
Yeah.
did you see any like police reports or statements that, no?
No, all the statements come through. What she said, I took the ring off her and never get back to her.
No
But
way.
it was all bollocks. Like, what it is it's like, I was fortunate because I never lost my virginity till I was old, right? Because I weren't interested in girls.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, boys, a couple of my friends had sex with girls and they got caught and the girl said they got raped.
Fucking hell.
Do you know what I mean? When they never. Do you know what I mean? You know they never. And the girls just said it because they got caught.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So I weren't really into girls growing up as a kid. So I was pretty fortunate not to get caught up with all the stupid shit. I was just more about violence, crime, and money.
Sure.
And that was all I was about.
Sure, makes sense. So now swiftly moving on a little bit. As far as your first stint in adult jail, I believe there was a charge that you received for theft of a van, and basically it was a thing where I guess you basically wanted to go to an adult prison. So I guess you sort of done something where you
get
weren't an
started
adult.
up. No, but what it is you get to a point in the YPs, right? So you're YP, which is a youth offender, right?
Right.
But your mates are in the men's jails.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of my mates was older than me.
Was older, yeah.
So they're all going men's jail. So I'm in the kids' jail. So I don't want to be in the kids' jail. I want to be with my mates, innit? So I always kicked off in the YPs and I always ended up getting started up, like, to go to the men's jails.
Right.
So I was just, they were better because in the men's jails, you could get alcohol and food differently to what you could do in the juveniles.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I used to get beer and wine in the men's jails and proper food. Like, you can get your proper food brought up, like proper food. Do you know what I mean? So it was different. So that was what was the urge to get to the men's jail. It wasn't to be a man. It was just you got food, you got alcohol, and you got more drugs.
And talk to us, how do you essentially pattern that for yourself? Like, you managed to, get to there, essentially.
Get to where?
The adult jail.
Just by being violent.
So did they like basically move you from the YP to the adult jail?
Yeah.
Right.
Because basically what happens is, say, it's just progression. So you get to a jail, right? You get your parcel in, you start selling a few bits, a few people owe you money, you serve them up. Then a few more people owe you money, so you serve them up.
Right.
So when you're serving people up all the time, the screws get to hear about it, they get the hump with it and they move you out. And then when you get, like, certain jails wouldn't accept me.
Right.
So when certain jails won't accept you no more, then they have to star you up.
Right.
I mean, and
how old was you? Would you, if you can remember?
16.
16.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
17, 18, I weren't even in YP no more.
Wow.
I was in man's jail, Brixton, Wano, and I was having wars with all them in there, the adult screws.
Crazy. I mean, I can imagine them, I guess, at that time probably trying to teach you a lesson, I guess, because, you're
No,
going
they were
crazy.
violent. No, they was horrible bastards, but
Yeah.
it's one of them. They weren't as bad as my dad, like that. In my head, they weren't spiteful. They was just trying to hurt you. And because your adrenaline's going, the punches don't hurt, the kicks don't hurt, nothing hurts. So you're just having a row with loads of strangers. And by the time they run out of the cell, you don't feel like they've done you, because they don't split you open, they don't stab you. It's just fat old men and a couple of fit geezers steaming into you. That's how you got to look at it, do you know what I mean? And that's all it was, a couple of fat old granddads, mate.
That's crazy. So talk to us about the experience of being 16 years old and then now you're walking into adult jail. Like, what's going through your head? Like, are you like
fucking having it, mate?
Yeah.
Mate, that's it.
I mean, I'm trying to imagine the attention you must have got being so young and just walking in there. Like, what are the sort of the looks? Like, how are you being received by the other inmates at that point?
I don't know.
Right.
But if you look to me, I'll ask you what you fucking looking at.
Right.
And I was, what? I was just up. I didn't care. It was just on. What?
Right.
What do you want? And I just fight. I would just fault everybody. I was just that guy. I would just fight everyone. I didn't give a fuck who you were.
Sure.
You spoke to me the wrong way, we're fine. And I said, you what? And you said, nothing, mate. It's all right. It's all right. Sweet. And they said, oh, mate, what's the matter with you? What do you mean, what's the matter with me? I don't know you. I was a nut that I wanted to be the baddest villain on the planet that much that unless you was a criminal, I didn't want to talk to you anyway.
Right.
And that was how simple it was. So depending on what kind of criminal you was, would determine how much I spoke to you. And if you weren't the highest level, I weren't talking to you.
Right.
And I wouldn't talk to no one that wasn't a criminal. I weren't interested in the conversation.
Makes sense. And going back to your rap sheet, pretty much, would you say in 2002, that's probably the most serious charge you faced as far as the conspiracy, the murder, the weapons possessions and stuff like that?
Yeah. It's the biggest one to date, and it was the one that held the longest sentence. So yeah.
Right. And I mean, what's going through your head at this point? Because you know, that's
Honestly,
pretty serious stuff.
Honestly,
Yeah.
what was going through my head?
Yeah.
Fuck it. We're going to do the bird.
You was prepared.
We're doing the bird. I'm going to escape the first opportunity. You know, that's it. I'm going to go on the run forever. That's it. There's no in between. I'm getting 35 years recommended. That's it. So the next opportunity, and we actually got put onto the Cat A unit because my fucking co-defendant told his bird when we was going to get off the van, yeah, and then we were putting stamps. When you get on the van, you get on these transport vans, and as you get on, you got to get on. As you get on, we was all putting stamps on the door, so my people knew what van we was on. Do you know what I mean? So we all got the route for the van. We were going to get off the van. We were going to do everything, and then they got wind of it because of my fucking pal's missus, the little mug, chatting shit. And then I'm glad we never got out in death anyway because we would have been fucked.
Bit silly though, isn't it, to be talking to his girl about, you know, something so secret.
Mate, listen, they all fucking do it. They all tell their girlfriends everything, mate, the mugs. Going home, giving it the big one. You know, we got today, sweetheart. We got 10 of Coke today. You know what we're going to do next week? Yeah. You know what we've done today, sweetheart? We got 100 grand today. You're all right. You think you fucking mugs. No wonder you get nicked. Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%. I've
never told my missus, none of my missus, nothing. I give them stuff. I never tell them nothing. But that was the world I lived in back then, you know.
So, swiftly moving on again, as far as your proactivity in the streets, now you was dibbling and dabbling in a lot of different things, but enforcement.
Dibbling and dabbling.
Well, to say the least, I guess. You know
it was hard in anything that made money. If it moved, 100%. We nicked it. Simple. If it was valuable, we nicked it. Yeah, I mean, if it was hard, we confronted it.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And that
lack of a better term, anyway. I'm saying, but I know definitely you was very proactive. Let me definitely get that right. Yeah, definitely doing
active,
your thing.
100%. Active. Just.
So talking enforcement, I guess you was a part of many shootings and stabbings and stuff like that. So are you someone that people are coming to saying, you know, I need X, Y, Z done to so and so and so? Yeah. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, these are things that piss me off, right? So I'm not going to sit here and try and glamorize that lifestyle, right? Sure. And one thing I will tell you is this, right? Sure. From a very early age, I got taught, right, never to shoot or kill anybody for money. Yeah? If you do that, you'll get so much problems, like spirit. Like I've always been a spiritual person. So I got told when I was young by a young African guy that I was growing up with, and then he said to me, no, you've got to understand, you can never kill people for money. Never take money for doing this stuff. Now, if you're going to do this stuff, just make sure you do it for the right reason. I know there's no right reason for doing it, but if someone threatens your family and you protect them and they die, then that's the difference to going and getting a gun and shooting someone, right? So as long as your principle behind the murder in a certain way, you won't get judged by the universe or God or whatever, yeah? So if you was my pal and someone was troubling you, then I'm doing what I can to protect you.
Right.
And that was the only reason I've done it. I never got paid for doing anything. And I helped people that was getting stressed out. There's some big gangsters on this planet that have made people pay £500,000. And I'm like...
To get a job done, basically.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. You're working for me and you fuck up.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I bill you 500 grand because you fucked up.
Fucking hell.
So I mean, then all of a sudden your life's flipped upside down. Yeah. And then you got a mate like me and you start moaning one day. I said, what's the matter, mate? This guy owes me £500,000. He's going to kill me family. For what, bruv? For what? Well, this happened, that happened, this happened. You don't owe no money for that. That's a fucking liberty. So then I'd fight their battles. And that's where most of my murders come from.
Insane.
Yeah, that's what all the headaches I ever got involved in was all over stuff like that. Like, for an argument's sake, another geezer, he owed someone £1.something million worth of money for drugs. Yeah? So then the geezer telling me how much he wants to kill him. So I said, yeah, let me speak to the fella. I said, how many bits of work do you give him? He's like, boom. I said, well, work it out. If you're paying £7 grand a key for it, how are you charging him 40 grand? It ain't 1.2 million quid. You've lost your product. It's gone pear-shaped. So you're getting back what you got at cost.
Right.
And that is X amount of money. And that's what you're getting back. Or fuck all. What do you want? Well, I'll take that. Well, then he'll give you that in drips and drabs when he gets it, mate. And just, like, I haven't been in this game to try to be anything but the most successful man in the game. Because in my back of my head, right, as mad as it sounds, yeah, I just wanted to help everybody get out of a
I
piss
mean, it
hole.
sounds like you are, to be honest.
Yeah, that's all I've ever wanted to do. Help everybody get out of that piss hole and live good. I was never able to get that core group together to be unbroken. Do you know what I mean? I believe it's coming together now, and I believe by the time I'm 55, we'll have it. You know, but that insurmountable core group, power, inspiration, motivation, drive, and commitment.
Right.
You have them 5 attributes put together under one core group, mate, of insurmountable strength and power. You're untouchable.
Right.
Everything's achievable. So that's where I'm going. That's what I'm looking to do, you know.